Lisa DeHart here, 3 Minutes with a Maine Guide, and I decided to do a part 2 on my med kit. We're going to open up these bags, and I'm just going to show you the key things inside. So let's start with the sprains. We'll go bag by bag by bag. So in the sprains, there's the really big, thing you use for like a brace. I forget what they call that. The SAM splint. There's a really big SAM splint. You know, this is bendy. You can form it to whatever you need for the sprain. Here's something that I have one left, okay? I had 4 of these. This is so innocuous. This is the little tiny finger splint. This is the last one I have because this is the one I've used the most. You know, you jam a finger, paddling, something happens. This is really nice because it'll mold and form and keep it straight. And a lot of times they'll still be able to paddle with it. So the biggest thing in my spraying kit is the SAM splints, the finger splint, and the tape to attach the whole thing. So that's the bulk of the spraying kit. Next, let's do the wound kit. Okay, I have a quick clot in here. LT and I were doing the polling clinic, and he said, "Lisa, you got a quick clot? I'm on blood thinners." And I said, "You got that in your first aid kit?" And I said, "I sure do, LT. I got you. I won't let you bleed to death on a river." So I've got a couple of these. Couple of the quick clot is always good to have. Then there's just all the things you would expect. There is the gauze pads, piece of surgical tubing if you ever need to do a tourniquet. The gauze pads that I have, the ones that are like this, and the smaller ones, make sure they're non-stick. There's like a little layer in there where a really deep wound heals from the inside out, and you don't want to lose that scab. You don't want to have just a regular gauze pad, and when you pull that pad off, you've lost the scab. So there is one that has a no stick. Get those because it'll save the scab. You can still clean it with Bactine every day and change the wound dressing. And we did that on the Cascapedia for a woman that had a really deep U-shaped cut on her knuckle. Same thing, paddling in a rapid, and that's how she cut herself. If we were any place but the Cascapedia, we probably would have had a stitch, maybe 2. And that's when I became a true believer of the Bactine, because this and the no-stick gauze pads and spraying and cleaning that dressing every day, by the end of the almost 10-day trip, it was nearly healed. And it was so deep, I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it. So yeah, those are the big things in the wound kit. Nothing like that you wouldn't expect. And again, just the, I don't know what they call this, sheet tape or whatever, but just the stuff to keep it all together there. The ouch pouch, it's just a smaller version with the smaller gauze pads, still non-stick, the tape, and the Band-Aids, and the antibiotic ointment. You gotta keep it clean and healing. The burns. So we'll do the burn pouch. Don't deal with this a lot, because you always emphasize the leather gloves and stuff, but I got the glacier gel, just to keep it clean and dressed. You want to do the purified water, cleaning it out. I always have baby wipes in the toilet packs that everybody uses. These are really good. If there is a cut or a wound, I always pull the toilet pack too, and I take this just for the initial first wipe of, let's see what we've got and how deep, let's say, this cut is. On a canoe trip, it's really hard. Somebody cuts themselves and everybody wants to help, and everybody's passing them these filthy bandanas full of sand, river water, you name it. This is one of the few things where you can pull it out every time, have it be nearly sanitary and completely free of sand and river water to be touching that wound with, just trying to see what you got. So that always goes with me. Meds, we'll do the little med pouch, of course, Benadryl. And I always use the clear Benadryl. Some people have an allergic reaction to the red dye in Benadryl. If you're giving them Benadryl for an allergic reaction and they're allergic to the dye that makes it look pink, it's not going to be too good. You can go on first aid websites and you can write the dosage and keep it in a thing here, but basically it's once every half hour or once every hour. You can look that up on the internet. But I always make sure every year I have Benadryl. Something for the stomach, just some Imodium AD. I've got that. I got the Pepto tablets. There's nothing really like exotic in here. It's just the basic, an antihistamine, a laxative. So there's just some basic things in there. And I think that's pretty much it. I did this in the last video, but this is always a big one. Got the nice eyeglasses kit in there. You got to be really careful. The only thing about the eyeglasses kit, and especially this one, is you got to be really careful opening it. They've got a plug on either end, and even if they keep the screw and you just need the little tiny screwdriver to screw it back in. But the eyeglasses kits, those are really nice. And like I said in the last video, I've got dental wax that gets stuffed in if they ever lose a filling. I've got the toothache cream, and I've got the Ambisol, okay? Whatever you can do to help them sleep at night. A lot of times that's when it's really tough. I've also heard sugarless gum, if you want to stick it in there for a filling. I've heard that. I've got the typical aspirin, ibuprofen, vitamin I, the older you get. Just basic things like that. And like I said in the last video, I've got the tobacco for leeches so they don't use all the salt in your cook kit. So that's basically it. I do have the surgical gloves to protect yourself, things like that. I do have a CPR face shield in there as far as that goes. And honestly, in a guide's career that spans decades, the two biggest things you deal with health-wise, first aid-wise on a canoe trip is dehydration and sunburn, completely preventable. I'm Lisa DeHart, and you just spent 3 minutes with a Maine Guide.